Hey, this is Victor from the Remote Lifestyle, and you're listening to my February 2017 update. This month, I traveled to Chiang Mai, Thailand as part of the first month of the Remote Trip program. The Remote Trip is a paid traveling community of digital nomads who want to explore the world with other like-minded individuals. The program runs for 6 months across Southeast Asia and Latin America, and each month, we're going to be in a different country. Not only that, the program covers the logistical details like accommodations, co-working spaces, gym memberships, and flights in between program destinations. If you want to see all my vlogs from the last month, just visit youtube.com/theremotelifestyle. I'll also be including links to the show notes for this episode, in which you can find at theremotelifestyle.com/February-2017. So, this first month we were based out of Chiang Mai, Thailand. And Chiang Mai is a city in northern Thailand that has the largest digital nomad community in the world. Objectively speaking, I would describe Chiang Mai as a small and affordable city with good infrastructure. It has basically everything you need in a city to be able to live and work remotely at a low price point without sacrificing your quality of life. So as part of the remote trip program, we had our accommodations, co-working space, and gym memberships taken care of. All three were top-notch and comparable to, the standards that I expected back in Chicago. In addition, the program organized additional freebies and community events, including 2 free massage passes, tickets to Nomad Summit 2017, an organized hike to Doi Sutep, which is a mountain west of Chiang Mai. We also had 2 community night dinners, a full-day meditation retreat, and a 1-day personal development workshop. On top of all of that, we also had a visit to the Elephant Jungle Sanctuary, a Muay Thai class, and also a local Thai cooking class. So looking back, these additional organized events really made my experience in Chiang Mai worthwhile and unique. I really appreciated the thought and effort that went into organizing these events and how they really enriched my life and our lives from a professional and a personal standpoint. To be honest, I am a really lazy traveler, so even if I were to be here by myself, I can't say that I would have taken all that time and energy to look up and to register and to pay for any of these events. And some of my real highlights of the month were, first off, the Digital Nomad Summit, because just from a networking perspective, it was unbelievable, and I'll talk about it a bit more later. The 1-day meditation retreat, which was fantastic because I was trying to get into meditation, but, when you're just doing it by yourself or using an app like Headspace or Calm, you're missing out on a lot. It's almost like working out with a personal trainer versus working out by yourself. And I think it's useful to think about mindfulness as such. Like I mentioned earlier, I also loved the Elephant Jungle Sanctuary. I actually, at the time of recording, I was just there yesterday. So it was wonderful just to be in an environment. How do I say it? It's like you get to interact with elephants, one of nature's most majestic and large creatures. And what really stood out to me was how gentle elephants were. Because if you're really big, even for like a big human being, sometimes you don't know your own strength. And elephants, on the other hand, they could weigh a few tons. So, just being able to feed the elephants bananas, to touch them, to really interact with them, and really, feel the fact that they are gentle and loving creatures was very phenomenal. And I'll have a vlog that'll come out soon documenting that experience. And last thing that I really also enjoyed was the local Thai cooking class. I am a big advocate of cooking. When I was back in Chicago, I would cook almost like 5 times a week, prepare most of my own meals. So being able to be exposed to a different style of cooking, especially food that we're so used to having, Thai food is so international at this point, was pretty phenomenal. And we got to make over 5 dishes. One of my biggest regrets is that my memory card was full, and so I couldn't really record any footage from the local Thai cooking class, but it was such a cool experience, and I highly recommend it. So, like I mentioned, you can find links to all of my vlogs from this month in the show notes, and you can also just go directly to my YouTube channel, which I will link to at the end of this update. Anyways, that was a high level of my experience this month, and now I want to dive a little bit deeper into my experiences. So my big 2 goals for this month were to, 1, build my network in the digital nomad community, and 2, to establish a strong morning routine. And on both fronts, I think I've been very successful. So we'll take it piece by piece. With regards to networking, I really think that being in Chiang Mai and attending Nomad Summit made all the difference to me. Thanks to Chiang Mai's status as a digital nomad hub, plus the fact that Nomad Summit is the single largest annual gathering of digital nomads in the world. And we're talking over 400 participants, I've managed to meet so many great people. And the opportunity to also be around like-minded people who understand what I'm doing and why I've chosen this lifestyle is really hard to describe. Because just a few months ago, I was living in Chicago, working alone in my apartment every day without a community behind me. My only connections in this space back then were made through Facebook groups, Slack, email, or through my podcast interviews. And being here is the total opposite side of the spectrum. Everywhere you go, you see foreigners, you see other digital nomads, especially in the Nomad neighborhood, which is the neighborhood that most digital nomads choose to stay in Chiang Mai. Like, literally everywhere you go, whether it's a coffee shop, you'll be able to spot other foreigners, other digital nomads. So through my short month here, I managed to connect with really people I would consider powerhouses in this space, including Johnny FD and Chris the Freelancer, 2 content creators who have influenced me the most in my journey so far. I've been able to interview both of them on my podcast, in addition to being interviewed by Chris on his YouTube channel. So, from that standpoint alone, I definitely say that I accomplished my networking goals. On the other hand, from a social standpoint, I think that's where I fell a little bit short. I've been too comfortable. By this, I mean, I haven't gone out of my way to be sociable and to do things like go out for drinks or to really experience the nightlife and to meet, people outside the digital nomad community or local ties. Since I have a community around me through the remote trip, I haven't really felt lonely, so I haven't felt the need to really put myself out there from a social standpoint. I'd imagine that if I were traveling by myself, this would not be the case, and I would have to be a lot more thoughtful and intentional from this point of view. Okay, so moving into my morning routine, I've been able to wake up consistently around 7 a.m. every day, take a cold shower, meditate, and go to the gym most of the days I've been here. I'm super happy about that because my morning routine has allowed me to have an anchor for each and every day. And by that I mean every single day I know that this is what I have to get done in the morning. And once I go through once I'm able to go through my morning routine, it allows me to continue on with the rest of my day knowing that I can focus on work or social things or whatever else that I have going on. With that in mind, from a health standpoint, I'm also much stronger now that I've been lifting with my friend and fellow community member, Rob. I usually do a lot more CrossFit workouts or bodyweight, free weights. So being able to be exposed to a different style of workout and being able to have access to a fully equipped gym has been great. And I've also lost 4 kilograms since I've been here, which is around 10 pounds, I would say, which is a huge surprise to me given the fact that I feel like I'm eating quite a lot every day. So that's another benefit of being in Asia. The food is inherently a lot healthier and also way cheaper than what you can get in the States. But, those 2 goals aside, let's talk about a few negatives, right? One of the things that really came to as a shock to me was that for the first time in my life, I found myself really feeling like I'm missing something. And by that I mean that I caught myself a few times missing Chicago and the life and the friends and the routines that I had there. I noticed this because I realized that I experienced FOMO, or fear of missing out, when I saw my friends post pictures on Facebook on what they were up to. It could be like, oh, we were just at an improv show and we were drinking, and I'm like, holy shit, I wish I was there. I love stuff like that. And this really came as a surprise to me because I've never really, this has never happened to me before, right? Like I've never just missed something a lot. And I suppose that's probably because I've never really traveled for such an extensive period of time. I mean, we're almost hitting, I guess we're hitting the 1.5 month point since I've left Chicago. And yeah, usually the longest I would be gone for is like 2 or 3 weeks. So that's really interesting to me. But at the same time, I know that the second I get back to Chicago, I'll be really annoyed at the cold weather, because the weather in Chiang Mai since I've been here has been completely pristine. For those of you thinking about coming, you should definitely come between the months of November to February, because towards the end of February and start of March, burning season starts. And burning season is basically, from my understanding, when they start burning fields so that they can prepare for the next harvest season or something like that. So the air quality starts to drop after February, and a lot of digital nomads that I know have already left to go to other places in the interim. Okay, what now? Oh, and so moving on to like a work standpoint of things, right? This month for me is my first year preparing for taxes as a business owner, and it has been horribly stressful to say the least. As a digital nomad, I don't have access to my mail, so I've been getting my friend to check my mail and to screenshot important pieces of mail, including my tax forms, to me so that I can file online. Speaking of filing, I'm looking for an accountant right now to help me file my taxes, because I tried doing it myself on TurboTax and it didn't work out well. Like to put it into context, I made around $35,000 last year from the business, and even with my deductions, I found that I have to pay like $5,700 in taxes, which sounds like a bit off to me, because as a solopreneur and having spent a lot of money last year putting together the business and really hustling, I feel like I miscalculated somewhere. So because of that, I feel like I need to work with a licensed professional. One thing I learned as a business owner is that you need to let professionals do what they do best. And that's also relates to the concept of outsourcing, right? If I'm not the best, I should outsource development work to someone else who specializes in this, even though I have basic web development skills. And the concept of specialization is a well-noted principle from economics, actually. So the idea is that if people specialize and trade their expertise, your total output is greater than if everyone was a jack of all trades. And it's a very simple economic equation and model that kind of serves to highlight this point. So tax things aside, I've been really pleasantly surprised with how work has pretty much been the same for me, even though I'm halfway around the world. Most of my team is remote, spread out across the United States and Asia, and we've managed to make everything work seamlessly just through communicating online. And over the past month, we've managed to pick up a few new projects, as well as to redo our website to really focus on the new services that we're providing. So if you're curious to take a look at that, you can go to my website, my agency website, tandemdesigns.co. But what I really need to focus on right now is getting new projects, because I'm finding this part of the process to be a little bit more difficult since I don't have a physical presence in Chicago. But hopefully through doing a great job for our clients and getting a lot of referral business, I think things will continue moving along well. So that's the tandem side. Moving on to the remote lifestyle. This is the first month in which I focused exclusively on my podcast and YouTube channel, and things have been going really well. The podcast is getting around 1,000 downloads a month, and I've also recorded over 8 interviews while I've been in Chiang Mai. So from a YouTube perspective, I also grew from 25 subscribers to over 100. So it's a huge milestone for me hitting that first triple digit, and a good indicator that deciding to focus on video was the right decision. But my main goal now is to really nail down my content and to perfect it. It's been such a learning experience since I have no skills in videography or video production. So I have to really take things step by step and to experiment with different styles of video to really understand what types of content people in the digital nomad community and the greater travel vlogging community need. Whew. So that does it for my monthly update. If you want to see video footage of what I've been up to, just visit youtube.com/theremotelifestyle. I'll also be including links to everything in the show notes for this episode, which you can find at theremotelifestyle.com/February-2017 in numbers. The next stop for me in the remote trip is my hometown of Taipei, Taiwan. I'm excited to be able to share my city with the other participants, especially also because I did a lot of the logistical work for this upcoming month in Taipei. So between now and the next update, you can look forward to more great interviews on this podcast, plus vlogs and funny videos on my YouTube channel. So as always, thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments on anything, feel free to reach out to me directly or to leave a comment on the show notes page. I'll be sure to respond to everything. And please let me know what you want to hear on my monthly updates. I'll be honest, I wasn't really sure how to structure this month's monthly update, given the fact that now I'm doing YouTube content so you can actually see what I'm doing during the month. So, any suggestions on what you would like to hear more about, what you would like to see, would be greatly appreciated. And, I always want to make sure the content I'm creating and my podcast episodes really make the best use of your time, because I don't want to be wasting anyone's time. So on that note, I will talk to you soon, and just keep your eyes open for some great content, because I think, the best is yet to come for both the podcast and the YouTube channel. So thank you so much for your support, and I hope that you're finding everything I'm creating to be useful to you. So take care, and I'll talk to you next month.